Hello and welcome to the show of the week. I'm Andy, this is Jane.
Hi, this week I've been reminiscing about Gamescom 2014, remember that? And trying to figure out which was my favourite moment of the show.
Go on.
Hard to beat that, really.
Kojima is the master. While you were doing that, I've been researching Quantum Break, the new game from Alan Wake and Max Payne developer Remedy, in which Dr. Sam Beckett finds himself leaping from life to life, striving to put right what once went wrong and hoping that each time his next leap will be the leap home.
That's Quantum Leap, the 90s TV show.
Oh, what's Quantum Break?
Quantum Break, Andy, is the new game from Remedy. That much is correct. In it, a time travel experiment goes horribly wrong, don't they always, which causes time to break down in various cool-looking ways. Sorry, various terribly dangerous ways.
Doctor, you're the only one who can fix this.
But it's not all bad news. The experimental mishap leaves hero Jack Joyce with the ability to freeze time for short periods of time, yes, as well as the freedom to move around outside of time when everyone else is stuck in a time-freezing stutter.
It's collapsing. Move it! Move! Ah!
In the first gameplay from Quantum Break, which comes out next year, Jack is on the run from big bad corporation Monarch, which wants time to break down, I guess.
What you doing? I said maintain control.
Maybe they're looking to acquire shares in Rolex on the cheap. Anyway, Jack uses his time powers to get between cover, to unfreeze objects for use as weapons, and to stop time so he can time punch enemies in the face.
Advance!
There's no word yet on whether you can freeze time and tie everyone's shoelaces together, but here's hoping that's lurking at the top of a skill tree somewhere. Away from combat, Jack faces timey-wimey wibbly-wobbly platforming sections, such as this bit where he has to get across a collapsing suspension bridge, stuttering through various states of destruction. There's also the TV show that will come with the game, starring her from That Thing, which focuses on the bad guys, Monarch. Each act of Quantum Break will finish with a sequence in which you play as Monarch boss Paul Serene. The decisions you make in these junction in time sequences are then reflected in the next episode of the show, which will then feed back into the next act of the game. It's all very ambitious, but Remedy is the studio to pull off a loopy, time-travelling transmedia fandango, and if the TV show within a game is half as good as Alan Wake's Night Spring show, we are on board.
You have well pleased Nixie Perka, the dweller in flesh. Your body shall host his 1,000 young, and all shall be glory.
No! So yeah, he can freeze time and move around outside of time and all kinds of stuff.
Let me guess, magical time artifact?
No, it was a time travel experiment gone wrong, according to Jane. Why? How does it usually happen?
Well, if video games are to be believed, you can get time travel powers any number of ridiculous ways. Here are a few to try if you're keen on becoming a time traveller.
Sit down, and I will tell you a tale like none that you have ever heard.
Bit of a faff, this one. You see, there's a dagger that allows you to control time, but unfortunately the Maharaja of India has it locked in his treasure room. So what you'll need to do is raise an army, storm the palace, steal the dagger, and kidnap the Maharaja's daughter for good measure. All in the name of honour and glory?
Father, I have brought us honour and glory.
Whatever helps you sleep at night, buddy. As if that isn't bad enough, the prince uses the time dagger's rewind powers to sneakily kiss Farah, making him exactly as creepy as his beard suggested he'd be.
Such a fantastic story.
We're going to try and bring you out now.
There's always the danger when you're time travelling that you might get bludgeoned to death by some medieval mugger or accidentally kill your own grandfather. So why not enjoy all the positives of time travel with none of the negatives, using Assassin's Creed's Animus?
I told you he'd be fine.
Bastards!
Instead of actually moving through time, you're replaying and experiencing the genetic memories stored in your DNA.
Our DNA functions as an archive. It contains not only genetic instructions passed down from previous generations, but memories as well.
Hush, biologists, it's not important. Unfortunately, what this does mean is that if you're replaying your memories and you do spot a young Adolf Hitler moping home after flunking out of art college, it doesn't matter how much you stab him up, you aren't going to prevent World War II from happening. Can't hurt to try though, I suppose.
To the time machine!
Of course, you could always take matters into your own hands and build your own time machine, like Dr. Fred Edison did in Day of the Tentacle. All you need is a car chassis, 3 portable toilets, a diamond, and some very stupid lab assistants.
No, you must all go to increase the odds that one of you will make it there alive.
Oh, make sure you use a real diamond though, and not a cheap imitation one if you don't want everyone to get stranded all over time.
Uh-oh.
It's an inexact science, but if you manage to get your hands on an Elder Scroll, you can create what are charmingly known as time wounds, which you can use to get rid of stuff you don't want hanging around in your own time, like the washing up or huge murderous dragons.
You are banished!
That said, looking at an Elder Scroll does cause humans to go blind and mad, so maybe just use that one as a last resort. No use travelling to the cool and sexy future if you can't see any of it and are mad, right?
Let's blow this popsicle stand!
Time Splitters offers probably the easiest method to obtain time travel powers. Simply wait around for a race of vicious time-hopping space aliens to hide a time crystal in your era. You can increase your chances by living in an iconic period, like 1920s Chicago or 1850s cowboy times. Within about 30 minutes, your world will be invaded by futuristic lunatics spraying bullets at each other, which is the perfect cover for you to nip into the time portal. Done.
Now it's time to see what you've been saying in the comments and screaming while live streaming the Silent Hills playable teaser on Twitch.
I don't think we can read any of these out.
What about
Apparently not.
Okay, let's see about your comments on this video about how to play as the monster in Evolve.
Just as there are different hunters within each human class in Evolve, so too are there different monsters. So far only 2 have been revealed: Goliath, this big hulking guy who looks like King Kong crossed with a cactus, and the Kraken, this Lovecraftian squid-faced horror.
We asked you what you want from the third unannounced monster and got some great suggestions, such as this from Oscar Kogabros, who says, there could be a digging centipede type monster that attacks from below. The hunters won't know what hit them.
Unless they see Dune.
Not likely, I'd have thought.
Okay, terrifying human-lizard hybrid Ian Epic Argonian would like a stealthy monster that would easily fit the niche between the big strong Goliath and the long-ranged mobile Kraken, with some sort of camouflage, possibly much smaller than the other 2, and maybe even some form of hormone that can cause the hunters to hallucinate, but also give away its presence to the hunters unaffected.
Leonard Jarrus finally wants a monster based more on minions and setting up the perfect engagement, quite like the Broodmother in Dota.
Sounds gross. We also played Assassin's Creed Rogue at Gamescom last week, where we discovered the game is like a mirror image of Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag.
Assassin's Creed games of late have mostly involved you murdering British people in various ways, so it makes sense that when you're playing as a Templar, the British are your allies.
Carflix is outraged, saying, it just looks like a pretty clone of AC4. You say it's the exact opposite, but gameplay-wise, it's the exact same.
Well, yeah, they're not going to turn it into a karting game or anything. I just mean it's the opposite in terms of your methods and goals and stuff.
Even the name's wrong according to Maxwell Zart. This should be renamed Templar Creed, the assassin assassinating assassin.
That is better. Still time, Ubisoft.
And then there were some people wanting you to know that you were wrong, claiming there were penguins in the game.
Oh, and one final point, it has penguins. Checkmate all other Assassin's Creeds.
Marvel SHS says, it's odd that there are penguins in the North Atlantic when penguins only live on the Antarctica. While Prone Creature 47 says, they're not penguins, dip. They're great orcs, look them up.
Wait, they're a white and black bird that live in icy conditions and they're not penguins? If I were penguins, I'd be really annoyed. Such a rip-off.
Finally, your thoughts on the first Quantum Break gameplay demo in which we finally got to see the game in action. Or in inaction, I guess.
Just
Advance! As ever with time travel, some people are struggling to get their head around things, like Ruben Rydell, who says, how can you stop time when time is already stopped? I guess they tell it in the story, just thought it was kind of weird.
Nate Jones, meanwhile, says, I imagine using time powers for a stealth option is viable in this game. This was a gameplay showcase though, so it would have been a bit crap to sneak by half the enemies and not show us how to use the time powers in combat.
Finally, Grabnock the Destroyer has his own theory, saying, remember that show Saved by the Bell? The main character could control time and shit. Is this him in the future?
Oh man, that'd be amazing. I've always wanted to be able to do the Zach Morris finger click to stop time. Andy? I've done it! I can stop time! This is amazing!
So gullible.
That's it for Show of the Week. If you liked it, you know what to do. If you don't know what to do, it's that button down there.
We'll be back next week, but in the meantime, you can get in touch with us on Twitter @OutsideXbox, or you can like our Facebook page at facebook.com/OutsideXbox. Thanks for watching.
All right, good show. Do you want to get something to eat?
Yes. Hang on 1 second. Hello? Yes, officer, we do know Mike Channel. Running naked through Piccadilly Circus, you say? Thought he'd stop time, you say?
Oh boy.